Salmon Run has always been a fun mode in Splatoon. For some, just a fun side content, but for others, the main point of playing Splatoon and mastering its Horde mode. And with it finally being available 24/7 in Splatoon 3, more players have a chance to enjoy it every day. Salmon Run Next Wave put a whole nother level on the difficulty and has fully revitalized the whole game mode with more challenges and rewards to seek, but one achievement that has been around and has been the goal for many is to reach the maximum rank of 999 and hazard level maximum. In this video, I will go through what exactly is rank 999 and maximum hazard level, so they aren't just bragging rights, but everyone can actually understand what it is. And to also have a clear overview of what it actually takes to reach it and get there, as it's not as black and white as most think. As you know, Salmon Run has several ranks as you play that determine the difficulty of your shifts, how many golden eggs you have to collect, in other words your quota, and also the difficulty of your waves, how many salmonid waves will be there, how many bosses spawn, and also the frequency of the spawns happening. This difficulty is determined by your shift's so-called hazard level that depends on your team's average Salmon Run rank, and you can check them when looking back at your matches. It will be written there very clearly what your hazard level is, but I don't want to go too deep into hazard levels in this video. Just know that the maximum to this difficulty slider in Salmon Run is the so-called hazard level maximum, which is 333% and requires an average Salmon Run rank of Executive VP 865 throughout your team, which gets us to ranks. As you know, you do rank up through various ranks in Salmon Run, but once you reach Professional, it starts to get a little bit complicated. After Professional Part-Timer, you unlock Professional +1, then +2, and finally +3, each requiring the same 99 points to level up, and after +3, you will reach Executive VP, the current endgame of Salmon Run. Executive VP is a special rank as it does not max out on 99, but instead goes all the way to Executive 999, which is the subject of this video. For reference, Executive VP 40's difficulty when they start out is on 165% hazard level, and you reach 333% on Executive VP 865. One important note here is that every 2 days at the start of a new rotation, Executive VP players' ranks reset back to 40, and there is no checkpoint for anything above it, so it restarts each time. But we'll talk about this later in this video. A logical question at this point is, what do you actually get out of ranking up in Salmon Run, and why do players try to reach Executive VP 999? To which everyone has their own answers, of course, but just to list some of the rewards, you do get a checkpoint badge at Executive VP 200, 400, 600, and 999 with normal, bronze, silver, and gold badges that you can show off. There is also a badge for having cleared a maximum hazard level shift at least once with a team, which is also pretty cool. And apart from that, the challenge itself is very fun. But also the higher your hazard level, the higher the percentages are to receive better quality skills from King Salmon at Kohazuna at the end of Extra Wave, and unlock all these cool slop suits and banners and whatnot in the Grisco shop in the lobby. Finally, we arrive at the main topic of this video, which is what it actually takes to reach that fabled EVP 999 rank. Now, of course, it takes a lot of experience, skill, and game knowledge, as the difficulty ramps up very fast, and if the player is not well versed in the art of Salmon Run, you will quickly get stuck skill-wise and won't be able to climb Executive VP. But yet, the most important aspect of reaching rank 999 that doesn't get as much talk as the others is time. Lots of time. Reaching EVP 999 is a very time-consuming task that isn't really mentioned much and is the main reason a lot of players might never reach it, but also one of the aspects everyone should know so you can prepare ahead of time and avoid disappointment or potentially failed attempts due to time constraints and having to start over again. Instead of babbling about it, let me show my calculations. To reach EVP 999, you will need a total number of victories of 48 shifts, starting from Executive VP rank 40. This is assuming you do not lose a single shift. Each match is around 7 minutes long, with loading screens and additional nonsense. I also calculate up to additional 30 seconds for each match for matchmaking, which can get shorter or longer depending on where you are and your luck, but matchmaking usually gets longer on higher ranks. On top of it all, I also calculated an overall of 8 minutes of Kohazuna Extra Wave that can happen, that most people wouldn't want to skip, but for fastest time, yes, you do want to jump into the water during Kohazuna to save time. Adding together these numbers, we get around 6 hours and 50 minutes that I would like to round up to 30 minutes with many seconds wasted here and there, adding up over the hours, so let's calculate with 6.5 hours. As a bonus, I would also add another 30 minutes minimum to this due to Splatoon 3 having lots of complications from communication errors, disconnects, crashes, and so on that happen very frequently right now and hopefully will get fixed. Overall, that gets us to 7 hours. That is 7 hours of playing Salmon Run non-stop without taking a break and not losing a single shift, just playing for 7 hours straight perfectly with an increasing difficulty and quite fast and stressful gameplay. This is the bare minimum time investment required to reach Executive VP 999, and remember that you have one rotation to do so, which is 40 hours time limit on it, and with a very generous of 16 hours of sleep time removed, means you have 24 hours to accomplish this without assuming anything else you might do during the day from breaks or even eating. Now with perfect teams and some really high level of gameplay, I can see this number go down a little bit of course, but I would think this is a relatively accurate depiction of reaching the max rank for most players, but it does get more interesting than that. Now our calculation was for perfect play, assuming you don't lose a single match, which is, while very possible for the best of the best, for most who are even trying it for the first time is far from being realistic, so let's talk about mistakes too. Now I'm not a math guru, but according to my basic calculations, I've come to the outcome of every single loss adding an average of 50 minutes of bonus time you need to reach EVP 999. Losing in Wave 1 is relatively fast, only costing 1 or 2 minutes overall, but you do lose 20 rank points in the process, which means you need one additional match to recover and another bonus victory which you needed originally anyway, which is 2 times 7 minutes plus 2, 60 minutes of time loss. Losing in Wave 2 is also quite bad, since this can take around 3 to 4 minutes, and while you only lose 10 rank points, the uneven point recovery might still require you to do a bonus round in the end, so potentially this can cause 80 minutes lost. Losing in Wave 3 is relatively fine, you only lost around 6 minutes but you don't get a rank penalty, so you have to keep going, adding 40 minutes to your playtime. The absolute worst case scenario on the other hand is completing Wave 3 and getting a communication error, which as you know counts as a minus 20 rank penalty, but also a waste of your time and an overall 21 minutes added. So that's how I've come to the average of 50 minutes added, but feel free to correct me if I've made some error. But with just these numbers, you can see a very easy and simple task of losing only 4 shifts out of your 48 will already add an additional 1 hour to your 7 hours of grinding. And for most, it's gonna be a lot more than just 4 shifts lost, potentially resulting in many bonus hours. I went ahead and assumed a 30% loss rate, which is somewhat expected for less experienced coworkers, resulting in 15 lost shifts over this course, which adds up 4 additional hours rounded up due to complications, meaning 11 hours of straight up gameplay without breaks, eating, or anything remotely healthy. Now, we all know how much time of a time sink it is to reach Executive VP 999, and to that end, a lot of players have been suggesting that Nintendo should add checkpoints for Executive VP rank so that your rank does not reset. Remember that at the end of the current rotation, no matter your rank, whether it's 41 or 920, you will reset back to Executive VP 40 on the start of the next map, and your grind starts all over again. To that end, checkpoints would be a viable solution, especially to help people with less free time on their hand, but at the same time it would definitely reduce difficulty and the overall worth and achievement of reaching EVP 999, whatever that really means, not to mention the balance problems it would cause. Salmon Run Next Wave has massively increased the difficulty for Salmon Run overall, and this is very visible in freelance matches as a lot of players are still not used to the increased difficulty of waves and hazard levels, and it will take many months until the community together will adjust to Next Wave's difficulty bump. Due to that, there has been many complaints that Executive VP ranks are getting less fun because of inexperienced players, resulting in more passive-aggressive behavior from players smack-talking their team, and as much as I'm absolutely against the whole notion of setting unrealistic expectations on your random team members and trash-talking them, I have to agree that setting checkpoints is not a good option for fixing Executive VP. Setting checkpoints would just further emphasize the main problem that, just like in Anarchy battles in Splatoon 3 overall, ranking up is too easy in all game modes, leaving players completely naked and unprepared for the difficulty of the ranks they reach. And so the problem isn't that Executive VP doesn't have enough checkpoints, but rather that it is too simple to reach it without building a proper experience beforehand. I really wish there were more tutorials in Salmon Run and potentially more ranks too, but I think what Salmon Run also really needs is the addition of rank up battles that you need to win in order to advance in a rank further up, to further ensure players are in the level that is best suited to their experience and let players practice more. as it doesn't matter what rank everyone is if you still do not know what you should be doing with Griller or Glowfly rush waves on professional or executive VP ranks, or miss some basic game information even you should know by then, resulting in many wave 1 defeats. Unfortunately, I do not know what would be the perfect solution to overall boost information spread amongst the player base. I believe this is just a question and matter of time, and over the course of months, Salmon Run and all players along with it will get better and better. Until then, the best we can do is spread support, information with guides, videos, and just helping each other out patiently. The rest will come naturally. Until then, just have fun. Either way everyone, that is the summary of what it takes to reach Executive VP 999 and Hazard level maximum in Splatoon 3 Salmon Run Next Wave. It is far from impossible, but next to a lot of practice and game experience, it does take a considerable amount of free time that not everyone might have the luxury to possess, in which case I hope this video helped you not feel too bad about it. For others, the best advice I can give for this is to practice, practice, and practice first instead of bashing your head into multiple attempts while you're not yet prepared for reaching that rank, since as you can see it takes a lot of time to rank up and potentially a lot of hours wasted if you go into it unprepared instead of first preparing yourself with knowledge and tactics or potentially a good team. A smooth and well-prepared climb to 999 is a night and day different experience than struggling through it for 12 hours straight and turning it into a torture. It's supposed to be fun in the end, but to help you out, remember that I have lots of guides on the channel to help you out on your way. You also know the drill. If you have any tips or side notes on this topic with maybe a question or two, leave a comment and let us know down below. But thank you so much for watching everyone. Remember to like and subscribe if you liked the video and you'd like to see more Splatoon 3 content. And with that, take care all of you.